Good morning, guys. It's a beautiful day here on the farm. Temperatures are slowly rising and we are definitely enjoying it. We're getting ready to get morning chores knocked out, and the first thing we always do is let the chickens out first because everybody else doesn't need to be let out. They just need to be fed, and they think that they need to go first. You guys think you need to be first? You guys are already out, lined up and ready to go. We'll be back to feed you guys in a minute. All right, both chicken flocks are out and happy to be out. We're getting ready to get this flock moved. That will happen here in the next couple of days, but they have been doing a fantastic job here in the woods. Let's take care of the inside chickens first. And we've got our 2-week-old Cornish cross in here. And it's getting warm enough that it's almost time to let them come out. But this brooder has been awesome, this size of this brooder. And the chickens are doing fantastic in here. So they don't want to hear us talk. They want to eat. So let's get some feed in here for them. All right, we have switched and brought these trough feeders in here just so they can have a little more access. You can see the chaos over here. Should have brought 2 of them in at once, but they will figure it out, and some are already moving over here. I'm tempted to take these guys outside, even at just 2 weeks old, but we still have a couple nights in the 40s, and that's kind of cold for these chickens to be outside. So they're gonna stay in here probably 1 more week, and then they will get to go out and enjoy the freedom of pasture. So let's go check out the Cornish that are on the pasture. All right, there we go. Tell you, all they do is eat, poop, and sleep, and provide fantastic meat. I think we got some stragglers that came out here. What are y'all doing? You're so impatient. The food's this way. The food's this way. Go that way. Go that way. There you go. There you go. Turn. You can do it. There you go. There you go. Plenty of space for you. All right, most of the birds have switched over now from feeding their gullet to now watering it. And these birds are looking fantastic. So we've got about 2, maybe 2.5 weeks until we are ready to process our first batch of these Cornish cross. And I can't believe it. It feels like just like yesterday that we were doing the video on getting these birds. So anyway, I know customers are happy and we are happy to get them in the freezers and start feeding our community again. So anyway, here they are. And like I said, it is getting warmer. So most of this video, we're gonna be talking about keeping our animals cool on the farm, and we'll come back here and we're gonna lift these tarps up and get some ventilation going through here for these birds. It's going down upper 40s, I believe, tonight. but at this size, they do produce a ton of body heat, and they will do just fine. We don't have any rain in the forecast. You definitely don't want them to be wet and cold. That is not a good thing for these birds. So we come out here actually 3 times a day now when they're this size, because we want to make sure they always have water. So we'll be out here at noon filling the waters, and we won't move them until that evening feed. But we do come out 3 times now and check on them. You can see them around the waters. That's a lot of birds drinking those waters down quickly, so we'd always want them to have fresh, clean water during the day. And we'll get those tarps flipped up, and we'll show you about cooling these chickens down. And we're also going to talk about getting our pigs cooled down. We're going to put up a bunch of shade cloths today. We got wallows filled yesterday. Now the pigs on our side need some shade, so we're going to get our shade cloths put up. We'll show you how we do that and what we use. But another update, we talked about having 1,000 Cornish cross chickens. Well, we just ordered 300 more. 3 more batches of 100 throughout the season. So we are up to 1,300 Cornish cross this year. That is our biggest season ever. So we're excited for it though. It's a lot more work on our part, but it is what it is. So we need meat for ourselves and we need meat for our customers. So a little update there. It's our biggest season ever. So we've got one more group of birds out here on the pasture that we haven't seen too much of. We're gonna get those moved, and then we'll start getting up some shade and cooling these animals down as the temperatures continue to rise this afternoon. All right, here are the young black sex-link pullets. And they're a little more skittish than the Cornish cross, but they are getting pretty. You see a lot of them got the brown going through their feathers. These guys are 6 weeks old, and so we're waiting until about 18 to 20 weeks, hoping for eggs around that point. We are moving them in these chicken tractors. We talked about that before, and we only move these guys once a day. They don't need to move twice a day. They are not like the Cornish as far as the amount of manure that they put down. So we just use a 5-gallon waterer. We've got 2 feeder troughs, but since I'm in here, they're mostly hanging out back at this trough here. So, but they're doing great, growing big. We talked about not moving them out into a fenced area until they're a little bit bigger that they can't fit right through that fence. So we'll get out of here and let them eat. Just wanted to give you guys an update on them. And we're only moving them once a day, which is plenty for them. And then we also move them back this direction because we don't move any Cornish back this direction. All of our Cornish are out in the front yard, so we don't want them taking any pasture room for the Cornish. And there's plenty here. We'll just move them in a big old circle and keep moving around until they graduate to a chickshaw. So let's get out now and we will start getting some shade up for all the pigs. All right, our first shade cloths is up, and we've had different kinds of shade cloths, and I'll leave a link to this one here below. That's good. It's a little bit thicker. We've had some that are thin and a little more see-through, and they rip quite easy. And we've had a lot of questions about how we wrap them on the poles. Well, on the end there's this clasp right here, this metal clasp, and if you just hook it with that and this piece of wire, we use a piece of wire, it can rip this cloth. So we always take the shade cloth, a little bit of the corner, and we wrap it around the metal post, and that keeps it from ripping, because when this wind starts going, they really can whip a little bit in the wind, and that helps to keep them from ripping. So first cloth is up. Like I said, I'll put a link in the comments to the types of cloths that we use, and yeah, they get holes and things like that, but this one's probably 3, maybe 4 years old. And so they hold up quite well, and not only do they give the pigs shade, they also give these pigs a nice scratching post. And the more I see Delilah, the more I think she is going to be heading over sooner and sooner. So piglets are coming. 1 shade cloth up, we'll head around. We've got 3 more shade cloths to put up. All right, pen 2 is finished. Third wallow finished. A little bit of shade. Pigs are enjoying it. Pen number 4 is finished. As you guys can tell, we obviously don't have trees on this side of the property, so to keep these pigs cool, we needed wallows and they need shade. So if you don't have shade on your property, definitely a good idea to invest in a shade cloth. Easy fix for the chickens to get some drafts through there and keep them cool. They're also getting a lot more sun this way. Some of them will come sit in the sun like you see here. Others want to stay back in the shade. I left the back panel up just in case we get some wind and cold weather. And obviously I can put these down really quick depending on what weather is coming, but these guys are doing well in here. They're cooled down, the pigs are cooled down. The reason we don't just take the tarps off is when we bring a new batch of chicks out that are a lot younger and can't handle the weather as well, we can just easily fold those tarps down and put them back on the chicken tractors. So anyway guys, everyone's gonna be able to deal with a little bit of heat. It's not gonna be too hot, 70s, 80s, but they all need some help to be able to get out of the sun. And chicks obviously have the tarp here, the pigs got the shade cloths now, and everyone is looking and feeling well. So we've got some 80s coming. Like I said, I know it's not that hot, but these animals will be able to handle it easily. Like these two chickens, they're kind of fighting with each other, but they settled their differences now, and the food is more important than the fellowship, I guess. So anyway guys, we appreciate you following along. Hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to make the change, and we'll see you on the next video.